Hello students and welcome in today's session. Today we are going to see your second part of chapter 8, that is uniform and non-uniform motion, right? So in that, when the motion is said to be uniform and when the motion will be non-uniform, right? That we will see. So first you should know the meaning of what is meant by uniform. Uniform means it will be the same, right? And non-uniform, opposite to that, it will not be same according to the time interval. If the per second, per minute, per hour, if the motion is the same continuously, then you can say it is uniform, and if it is not there, then it will be non-uniform, right? It is very easy. Let's start our today's topic, uniform motion and non-uniform motion, right? See here, uniform motion and non-uniform motion. See here, the object moving in a straight line, right, means steadily moving in a straight line. Let it travel 5 meter in first second. In 1 second it will travel for 5 meters, right? Then for the next second, means in the second it will also travel for again 5 meter. In the third second also, if that object travels for 5 meter, and even in the fourth second also, if that object travels again 5 meter, then here we can see that for every second the object travels 5 meter distance, means it is the same distance for the every second, right? So as the object covers equal distance in equal time interval, right, it is said to be uniform motion. See, equal distance in equal interval of time, means every minute 5 meter, every second 5 meter, right? So equal time interval is there, means after every second and equal distance is there, that is the 5 meter. That's why this motion is said to be uniform motion, right? Now here, time interval which we have considered here, this should be small, unit 1, smallest unit of the time, that is the second, right? And with that small time interval unit, we have to check the distance covered by an object, right? When we come across a motion where the objects cover unequal distance in equal time interval, means the time interval is there, that is the equal one, means 1 seconds time interval is there. But suppose in each and every second, if the distance covered by an object is unequal, means in first second 5 meter, then in second maybe the 7 meter, then in third second maybe the 4 meter, right? Then in a fifth second maybe it goes to 6 meter. For each and every second, the distance covered by an object is unequal, right? So this can be considered as a non-uniform motion, right? Example is given here, when a car is moving on a crowded street, right? The crowd is there on the street, and whenever the street is crowded, we cannot take the car with the same speed, right? So sometimes wherever the more crowd is there, the driver has to apply brake. Whenever the road is clear, then the speed of the car will increase. So here sometimes the high speed will be there, sometimes very slow speed will be there. So that is showing the non-uniform motion, right? Another example is given, the person is jogging in the park. Maybe the person jogging in the park jogs faster, runs faster in the beginning, but as his capacity get over, when he feel whenever breathing rate is increased, right, then whenever the person get tired, that time may the speed of the jogging will be decreased. Then again, whenever after taking little bit rest, the person will run fast. So the jogging speed will be non-uniform, sometimes fast, sometimes slow. The distance covered by that person will be varies time to time, right? So this will shows the non-uniform motion. See, one activity is given here, 8.5. In that, see, the data regarding the motion of two different objects are given, object A and B, right, and their data is given in the table 8.1, right. You have to observe this data and you have to say that either the motion of the object is uniform or non-uniform, right. See the table. This is the table 8.1, right. Now this is the time given, right, at what time the distance travelled by object A and the distance travelled by object B. So 9:30 a.m., right, this is the timing. Distance travelled by an object A is 10 meter, it is in meter, right, and object travelled the distance is 12 meter. Then 9:45 means after 15 minutes, right. Distance travelled by an object is 20 meter, distance travelled by an object B is 19 meter, right. Then at 10 a.m., then again after 15 minutes, right, 30 meter, 23 meter. Again after 15 minutes, 10, 15, 40 meter by A object and 35 meter by B object, right. Again after 15 minutes means at 10:30 a.m. the distance travelled by object A is 50 meter and object B has travelled 37 meter, right. At 11:45, after 15 minutes, the distance travelled by object A is 60 meter and distance travelled by object B is 41 meter. At last it is given 11 a.m. means again after 15 meter, 70 meter distance is covered by object A and object B has covered 44 meter. Now if you will see both these tables, time interval is the same, 15 minutes gap is there, right. So the time interval here is of 15 minutes. So you have to see that after 15 minutes object A has travelled 10 meters distance, right. So earlier first 10 meter was there, after 15 minutes it becomes 20, means 10 meter more travelled. Then again after 15 minutes 30, so means again 10 meter is travelled. So after 15 minutes its travels goes on 10 meter distance more. But in case of B, if you will see, there is no any consistency of travelling a particular distance within a 15 minutes. It goes on changing, right. So because of this we can say that object A is moving in a uniform motion and object B is moving in non-uniform motion. Is this clear to you? Now see the next point is there, measuring the rate of motion. How can we measure a motion, right? Rate of motion means per second, per minute, per hour, that will be considered as a rate, right? So for that you just observe this picture properly, right? This is the cricket match is going on and related to that here score is given, right? Bowling speed in kilometer per hour. It is written the bowling speed in kilometer per hour and this is given 140, 143, 135, 145, 132 and 130, right? So this is given the bowling speed of a ball, right? So this speed is mentioned in kilometer per hour and this gives us a speed of the ball, means 140 kilometer per hour. The ball is moving with the speed 140 kilometer per hour. Here if you will see, the ball's moving speed is 132 kilometer per hour, right? So this is what given a bowling speed. Now below that one more picture is given. See here, this is a road on which one vehicle is going on, right? And here it is given a speed limit board, right? So for the four-wheelers, speed limit is 50 kilometer per hour and those heavy vehicles are there, for them it is given 40 kilometers per hour, right? It is there in your textbook. If it is not visible over here clearly, then you can see in your textbook also, right, or in the PDF. So this is what given a speed limit for the vehicles, right? Now based on these two pictures, see, it is given in your textbook on the next page that in the first situation figure, the bowling speed is 143 kilometers per hour. This means that the ball is moving and ball will cover distance 143 kilometer distance in 1 hour, right? So that was the speed of a ball, right? See, different objects may take a different amount of time to cover a given distance, right? So this means what? Some may move slow, right? Or some may move very fast. Some, those who are moving very fast, they will cover a more distance, right, in short period of time. And those who are moving very slow, they will cover a very less distance in a more time, right? So the movement of each and every object will be more or less. If the movement is more in a less time period, then we can say that the object is moving very fast, right? And if the object is covering very less distance in a more time, then we can say that the object is moving very slow, right? See here, say the rate at which object move can be different, right? Means some move fast and some move very slowly. Different objects can move at the same rate. This is also possible that two different objects are moving with the same rate, same speed, right? And different objects moving with the different speed is also there. Different objects can move with the same speed, same rate is also there, right? See, measuring the rate of motion of an object is to find out the distance traveled by the object in a unit time, right? So this is what? The rate of motion, right? The rate of motion is nothing but a speed of an object, right? So this can be measured, that is distance traveled by an object in a unit time, means per second how much distance is traveled, or per hour how much distance is traveled by an object, is nothing but the rate of motion of an object, right? And this is what is called as a speed. So speed is a distance traveled by an object in a unit time. So speed is equal to distance upon time. In simple form we can say speed is equal to distance upon time, right? The SI unit of speed is meter per second, right? Distance traveled will come in the meters, right? And time, unit time, whichever we are considering, that will be the second. So the SI unit of speed is meter per second, represented by the symbol m s raised to minus 1 or m per s, that is meter per second, right? Other units of speed include centimeter. Instead of meter, we can measure a distance in centimeter per second or in kilometer per hour, right? Here it will not come a second. Remember this, kilometer, large distance is there, it will be measured in the larger unit of time, that is the hour. So kilometer per hour or centimeter per second or meter per second, these are the units of speed. To specify the speed of an object, we require only its magnitude. Whenever we are talking the speed of any object, then we are just saying that the speed of a car is 60 km per hour, right? 70 km per hour. Walking speed 10 km per hour. So this is what we are saying, that only the number and not the direction, right? So whatever I said just now, few examples in that 10, 50, 70, these numbers are there, that is called as the magnitude. Remember this word magnitude, hereafter it will come. So whatever the numerical value is there, that value is nothing but a magnitude. So whenever we specify the speed of an object, we just specify it with a number, with a magnitude. We are not saying the speed of a car 70 km per hour in any direction, right? Here we are not mentioning a direction, right? See, the object will be in a non-uniform motion whenever it will not cover the constant distance in a constant speed, right, or the time interval. See, the speed of an object need not to be a constant, and it's not compulsory. Whenever we are talking about the speed of an object, it can be in a non-uniform motion, right? So whenever the object is moving in a non-uniform motion, means sometimes the speed is very high, right? Sometimes the speed is very slow. That time we are describing the rate of motion, right, in terms of their average speed. So average speed is nothing but we have to take the average speed of all time intervals, right? So wherever the more is there, that will be also considered, and wherever very less speed is there, that will also be considered. So for that, average speed of an object is obtained by dividing the total distance travelled by an object divided by total time taken. So this is what the formula we can see. Speed you can calculate the distance travelled by an object upon the time taken, and whenever you are talking about the average speed, right, then for the average speed you have to take a total distance covered by an object, right, and to cover that distance whatever the total time is taken, that total time you have to consider. So total distance upon total time is nothing but the average speed, right? And whenever you are just taking the distance upon time, then it will be simply come as a speed of an object, right? So object travels, if it is considered as a object travels distance s, right, whatever the distance traveled is there, that is symbolized as s in a time t, then the speed is represented by v. So v is equal to s upon t, that is distance travelled upon time taken, right? So this is what the average speed, that is u is equal to s upon t. One example is given here, just understand this example. A car travels a distance of 100 kilometer in 2 hours, right? So the distance is given 100 kilometer. Time taken to cover this distance is 2 hours, right? Its average speed is 50 kilometer per hour, right? You just divide this. So definitely 100 divided by 2, it will come 50. So the average speed of that car is 50 kilometer per hour, right? So what this indicates, average speed indicates, is that car started moving 50 kilometer per hour speed from the beginning till the end? No. Sometimes the speed may be more than 50, sometimes speed may be less than 50 kilometer per hour, right? So this doesn't mean that, average speed doesn't mean that the car has travelled with the same speed throughout the distance, right? That means car not have travelled 50 kilometer per hour speed at that time, but it may have travelled faster or slower than this speed, right? So this is what about the average speed. Based on this, one example is given, right? See the example. An object travels 16 meter in 4 seconds. See, the distance is given 16 meter, time is given 4 seconds, right? Then another 16 meter, then this is the second distance, 16 meter in 2 seconds, second time is given 2 seconds, right? What is the average speed of an object? So here average speed you have to calculate. So here the formula for average speed you have to remember. Average speed is equal to total distance travelled upon total time. So whenever you will solve the problem, in this pattern you have to solve. First you write whatever is given and what you have to find out. See, the total distance travelled by the object is equal to 16 meter in first 4 seconds and next 16 meter in next 2 seconds, right? So the distance 16 plus 16, right? So total distance traveled by an object is 32 meter. Now we have to take the total time. So at first it is given the 4 second, and in second time it is given a 2 second. So 4 second plus 2 seconds is equal to 6 second is the total time taken by an object. Now keep these values in a formula. Formula is average speed is equal to total distance travelled upon total time taken. Total distance is 32, total time is 6 seconds. So you just keep these values in the formula and divide this, you will get the answer 5.33 meter per second, right? So the average speed of that object is 5.33 meter per second. So this is how you can calculate the average speed of an object. Let's go with the slide. Once again, see the uniform and non-uniform motion. Uniform motion means body travels equal distance in equal time interval, right? Every 5 seconds, every 10 seconds, every 15 minutes or every hour, the travel distance will be equal in each segment, right? Then it will be uniform motion. Non-uniform, that unequal distance will be travelled in equal time of interval, right? Then it is called as a non-uniform motion. Now in non-uniform motion, this is changeable, distance is changeable, but the time interval is the constant. Remember this. Speed is equal to body, speed of a body is the distance travelled by the body in a unit time, maybe the per second or per hour, right? Per minute, anything, whatever the unit time is there. So speed is equal to distance upon time. If the body travels distance s in time t, then speed v is equal to s upon t. SI unit meter per second. Then speed has only magnitude, and as it is have only magnitude, this is considered as the scalar quantity. And the another quantity is their vector quantity. Whenever along with the magnitude, means along with the number, if a direction is also mentioned, then it will be called as a vector quantity. So remember here, speed is have mentioning with only magnitude, only number, and that's why it is known as a scalar quantity. Average speed is given the ratio of the total distance travelled to a total time taken is nothing but the average speed. See, total distance travelled upon total time taken is equal to average speed. Just now we have seen about how to calculate the speed of an object and what is the average speed of an object. Very simple difference is there. Whenever you are taking a distance upon a time, only a particular given distance with a given particular time, so then that will give the speed of an object. And whenever we are talking about average speed, then you have to consider total distance upon total time. This is what a simple difference between the speed and the average speed, right? And with the example also you must have cleared that how we can calculate the average speed of an object. Next point is given, whenever we are talking the speed with direction, because up to this speed and the average speed we have not considered direction, right? Only the number is considered, right? Means the car is having 60 km per hour speed, right? Means only 60 number we have said. We did not say that in this direction or in that direction. So here direction is not mentioned, right? So our next point is, whenever we are talking the speed with direction, then what it means, right? Speed without direction, so only with magnitude, it is a scalar quantity. Now we are talking about the speed with direction, right? Means it will be a vector quantity, because magnitude with direction it is there. So it will becomes a vector quantity. So there are two quantities are there, scalar quantity and the vector quantity. Scalar quantity, direction will not be considered. In vector quantity, direction is there, right? So let's start our next point, that is the speed with direction. See in your textbook. its direction of motion along with its speed. So we are mentioning the speed of an object, but along with the speed, if we specify a direction, in which direction the speed is going, right, then the quantity that specifies both these aspects called as a velocity. See, new term has come here, velocity. So what is mean by velocity? Velocity is the speed of an object moving in a definite direction. So here whatever speed we have seen, that speed along with the direction, whenever it comes, then that is called as the velocity of an object. Simple, a small change is there. Without a direction it will be a speed, with a direction it will be a velocity. So remember the definition of velocity. Velocity is the speed of an object moving in a definite direction, particular direction. And as here along with the number direction is mentioned, means it will be a vector quantity, right? Now see, velocity of an object can be uniform or variable. Uniform means it will be the same velocity. How we have seen about the uniform speed, like that uniform velocity will be there, or it will be a variable. Variable means it can be changed, right? Time to time it will be changed, right? So that is called as a variable, changeable. It can be changed by changing the object. How this velocity will be changed? It is given. So the velocity of an object can be changed by changing the object speed. As the speed of object is changed, definitely the velocity will be changed. If we change the direction of an object, right, because velocity is again depend on the direction. So if we change the direction of the motion of an object, then also velocity is going to be changed. Or if we change both, speed also as well as direction also, then also the velocity value will be changed, right? When an object is moving along a straight line at a variable speed, we can express its magnitude of its rate of motion. That is nothing but your average velocity. How we have learned about the average speed, right? Total distance travelled upon total time taken. Like that there is average velocity, right? So whatever the variable speed is there, along with the magnitude of its rate of motion, whenever we are considering, then it will come into a average speed. So the calculation of the average speed will be calculation of the average velocity will be same as like a average speed. See, in case of velocity of object is changing at a uniform rate, then average velocity given by arithmetic mean of initial velocity and the final velocity for a given period of time, right? So as we are talking about the average speed, total distance, earlier distance to the last distance, all we plus together upon all time will be plus together to get the average speed. Like that here we are getting average velocity when we plus the initial velocity of an object and the final velocity of an object, because the velocity may change, right, in the beginning and at the end, right? So when we plus the initial velocity and the final velocity, and if these two quantities are there, so divide by 2 is there, then we are getting average velocity of a object, right? So mathematically we can show that average velocity is equal to initial velocity plus final velocity divided by 2. Now see the symbols used. Average velocity, velocity is shown by V only, and as it is average at the base it is written AV, right? So VAV means average velocity, right, is equal to U means initial velocity, V means final velocity, right, U plus V upon 2. So this is the formula. You have to remember that VAU is the average velocity, U is the initial velocity, and V is the final velocity. So VAU is equal to U plus V upon 2 is nothing but a average velocity. This formula gives you a average velocity of an object. Now unit. The speed and velocity have the same unit because in the speed also we are talking about the distance upon time, and in the velocity also we are talking about the distance upon time with the direction, right? So units will be the same, that is the meter per second. So both the units have the same, that is meter per second. See, one activity is given. Measure the time it takes you to walk from your house to your bus stop or school if you consider that your average walking speed is 4 km per hour. This is the average walking speed, right? Estimate the distance of the bus stop or school from your house. So you have to find out the distance if you have the speed with you, right? So if you are having a speed, right, then you can find out the distance upon whatever the time is taken by you to reach that spot. So out of these three quantities, two quantities you know, so definitely distance you can find out. One more activity is given. At a time when it is cloudy, there may be frequently thunder and lightning, right? The sound of thunder takes some time to reach you after you see the lightning. Means first we see the lightning and after some time we are able to hear a sound of a lightning. Can you answer why this happens? It's very simple, because speed of light and speed of sound is a different. Speed of light is very fast than the speed of sound. So light will reach first and then sound will come. Measure this time interval between the lightning and the thunder sound, right? Using digital wristwatch or a stopwatch, calculate the distance of the nearest point of the lightning, that is the speed of sound in here is 346 meter per second. Speed of sound is given. So by the time interval, maybe 3 seconds, 4 seconds, whatever the time interval is there in between the lightning and the sound of the thunder, by counting the seconds, right, or by measuring the time, you can calculate the distance of the lightning, right, from the nearest point, right? So this you try to do if possible, right? And if it is solved this and the first earlier one activity, then click a photo and send me, I will check it, right? Below that some in-text questions are given, 5 questions. Solve these questions, write answers, take a pic and send me. So today we have seen about the what is mean by speed, then what is mean by average speed, and what is mean by velocity, right? So whenever the speed is with direction, then it becomes a velocity. Please remember this, because small changes are there and term get changed, right? So speed is there, average speed is there, average speed with a direction, then it becomes the velocity, and there is again a average velocity. Now for each, whatever the formulas are there, that please you go on writing on one paper, right? So for every video, every points, whatever the formulas come, that please you write somewhere together. So at the end of chapter you will have the all formulas together, right? So first we have seen the formula, speed is equal to distance upon time. Second, average speed is equal to total distance upon total time. And next one we have seen the velocity, right? Average velocity, initial velocity plus final velocity upon 2 is the average velocity. And velocity nothing but the speed with the direction, that what it is called as a velocity, right? So based on these all points, if you have any doubt, write in comments. If no doubt is there, then please like the video and complete your notes. Send me the pics, right? Prepare well. All the best.